to guided reading. This is lesson 10. We're reading Cole's Kingdom, and in the last section that we read, Cole was sitting with the king in his palace. The king's been very friendly and was showing him all of the magical things that he has. He was talking about they come from all the different places, the different worlds that exist. And he shows Cole one of his artifacts, and it's a record player. Now, I'll show you a record player before you begin in case you've not seen one. So I'm circling here. This is a record. It's made of plastic vinyl. People would play these, and it's for playing music. My grandma has a record player like this. Cole flicked the switch on the side of the casing, but nothing happened. Your grandmother must be a powerful magician, said the king, reclining on the settee with his hands resting on his belly. Reclining on the settee, it means lying on the sofa. Cole played the tiny needle on the record as he'd seen Grandma do, expecting drums to rattle or a crescendo to fill the room. To his disappointment, the record remained still and silent. Realizing the problem, Cole chuckled. Not really, he said, it's just electricity. He perched on an empty settee opposite the king. Now the word chuckled means laughed, and Cole says not really, because the king thinks that Cole's mother is a powerful magician. Not really, he said, it's just electricity. These treasures are from all the regions, King Enk told him. Thurlin in the valley, Norwambi on the hills, or right here in the city of Alfar. Alfar, Cole repeated, chewing over the word. That's the city I saw inside the walls. King Enk nodded. It surrounds the palace. It is the jewel of my kingdom. The land of Darius stretches as far as the eye can see and beyond, and for as long as there has been water in its rivers, clouds in the sky, and mystery in its heart, I have been its guardian. Cole thought of the mirage of green that he had seen when he had walked through the gates of the city. There had been streams of crystal clear water, low-hanging trees blooming with fruits and flowers that created a thick, heady perfume. But the vast parched world, so vast is huge, parched is dry, world beyond the walls could not have been more different. I didn't see any rivers or clouds outside the city, Cole mused, and then hastily added, I like this place though, it's incredible. A sad smile filled the king's face. You are not the first to say so. As for the rest of the world, that is where you can help us. The king gave a swish of his hand, and the fire in the hearth, right, remember, this is a hearth, this bit in the middle. The fire in the hearth turned a beautiful shade of magenta. Magenta is purple. The flames licked higher beside the pair, and Cole was wrapped in a gentle warmth. The journey to the palace had left him grimy and dirty, yet now he felt clean and his clothes smelled of lavender. Lavender, we learnt about this in one of the first lessons, it is a very nice smelling flower, as if freshly washed. So this is a magical trick the king is doing. He's made the flat fire turn purple, and now Cole's clothes are all clean and smell nice, as if freshly washed. Cole's heart started to beat quickly. How did you do that? Is it magic? Real magic? Not just a trick? The king chuckled, this word again, laughed. For Darians, it is the spirit of the world. It is the power we use for food, light, and warmth. I alone am its master. Would you like to see some? This means the king is the only one who can use the magic. Oh, yes, please, said Cole, leaning forward eagerly. I've always wanted to do magic. I know some card tricks, but they're not really magic, are they? I've always wished I could do things like turning someone into a slug or making it snow or whipping up a plate of pancakes out of thin air. Cole stopped himself at the sight of the amused expression on King Enk's face. Sorry, he mumbled. I've been told I talk too much. The king chuckled. A feast would be just what we need, don't you think? He closed his eyes and reposed in his chair for a few seconds. Cole watched him intently. When he opened his eyes, Cole followed his gaze and jumped with surprise as silver jewel-encrusted platters lay on the table in front of him, bursting with decadent delicacies. "Dig in," said the king. Cole tucked into the food. When you tuck into food, you eat it with his fingers, not sparing a thought for plates or napkins or cutlery. Cutlery is knives and forks, by the way. There were savoury pastries shaped like birds and sweet pastries shaped like flowers. "This is delicious," said Cole as crumbs rained from his mouth. There were sugar, sweets, fruits scooped into coloured bowls. "So amazing," sighed Cole, as juice dribbled, and I think it was down his chin. Right, so the question here, first question is, why did Cole laugh? I'm going to read the extract, and then you're going to write why Cole laughed. "My grandma has a record player like this." Cole flicked a switch on the side of the casing, but nothing happened. So Cole is looking at this, and he's flicked the switch, but nothing happened. "Your grandmother must be a powerful magician," said the king, reclining on the settee with his hands resting on his belly. Cole placed the tiny needle onto the record as he'd seen Grandma Jenny do, expecting drums to rattle or a crescendo to fill the room. So Cole thinks that there's going to be music. To his disappointment, the record remained still and silent. Realizing the problem, Cole chuckled. "Not really," he said, "it's just electricity." He perched on an empty settee opposite the king. So why did Cole laugh? Explain, press pause, write a sentence or two, and then we'll come back together. Okay, the king thinks that the record player is magic and that Cole's grandmother is a powerful magician. But then Cole realizes the reason that the record player doesn't work, there is no electricity. So Cole laughs because he realizes the problem is not there is no magic, but there is no electricity. Let's look at the next one. So the king gave a swish of his hand and the fire in the hearth turned a beautiful shade of magenta. Magenta is purple. The flames licked higher beside the pane. Cole was wrapped in a gentle warmth. The journey to the palace had left him grimy and dirty, yet now he felt clean and his clothes smelled of lavender, as if freshly washed. Cole's heart started to beat quickly. How did he do that? Is it magic? Real magic? Not just a trick? Cole's heart started to beat quickly. Right? What does this suggest about how Cole is feeling? Why is this? Press pause and write a sentence, and then we'll go through it. Okay, when your heart starts to beat quickly, it could be you are excited, scared, or nervous. Now, if you think about it, Cole has just experienced magic. The king changed the flames to purple and they made Cole seem warm and all his clothes smell nice. So I would say Cole is feeling nervous and or excited because he has just seen the king perform real magic. Last question. Why does the king have an amused expression? Now, if you have an amused expression, amused means you find something funny. An expression is your face. So if you have an amused expression, it means you find something funny. Let's read the extract. "Oh, yes, please," said Cole, leaning forward eagerly, so he really wants to see what's going on. "I've always wanted to do magic. I know some card tricks, but they're not really magic, are they? I've always wished I could do things like turning someone into a slug, or making it snow, or whipping up a plate of pancakes out of thin air." Cole stopped himself at the sight of the amused expression on King Enk's face. "Sorry," he mumbled, "I've been told that I talk too much." Why does the king have an amused expression? Press pause, come up with an answer, and we'll see what's happening. Okay, so we said an amused expression is the king thinks it's funny the way that Cole is acting because he finds Cole funny in the way that he says, "I've been told that I talk too much." Also, Cole is rambling. When you ramble, you just keep talking and talking. Look at all of that. Cole's just rambling. So the king finds it funny that Cole is talking too much, and is excited about his magic. Okay, guys, well, thank you for taking part in this lesson. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you in next lesson, lesson 11, and we'll find out what happens next in Cole's Kingdom. Thanks for taking